Few moments in NFL history have sparked as much outrage and controversy as the infamous no call in the 2019 NFC Championship game between the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Rams. The missed pass interference penalty in the final minutes of the game not only cost the Saints a trip to the Super Bowl but also led to sweeping changes in NFL officiating. It remains one of the most debated plays in football history, leaving fans, players, and analysts wondering what could have been. The build-up, two powerhouses collide. The 2018 NFL season saw both the Saints and the Rams dominate their respective divisions, finishing with identical 13-3 records. The NFC Championship matchup between these two teams was highly anticipated, featuring two of the league's most explosive offenses. The Saints, led by veteran quarterback Drew Brees and head coach Sean Payton, boasted a high-powered passing attack complemented by a strong running game featuring the dynamic duo of Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. The Rams, under head coach Sean McVay, countered with their own offensive juggernaut, featuring quarterback Jared Goff, star running back Todd Gurley, and a receiving core that included Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks. The game was billed as a battle between two of the most innovative offensive minds in football, with Payton and McVay known for their aggressive play calling and ability to maximize their talent. The Saints, playing in the raucous Mercedes-Benz Superdome, had a distinct home field advantage, where their crowd noise had become a nightmare for opposing teams. Their defense, led by Cameron Jordan and Marshawn Lattimore, had improved significantly over the course of the season, giving them a well-balanced roster capable of contending for a championship. The Rams, on the other hand, relied on their potent offense and a defense bolstered by Aaron Donald, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, and veteran defensive backs Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. The game started in favor of the Saints, as they capitalized on an early Rams mistake, a Goff interception that led to a quick field goal. New Orleans built momentum, extending their lead with another field goal and a touchdown, giving them a 13-0 advantage early in the second quarter. However, the Rams remained composed and gradually clawed their way back into the game. Goff found Woods and Cooks for key plays, and Gurley bounced back from an early mistake to contribute on the ground. By halftime, the Rams had cut the Saints' lead to 13-10, setting the stage for a tense second half. As the game progressed, both teams traded big plays. Brees continued to find Michael Thomas in crucial moments, while Goff made adjustments at the line of scrimmage to counter the Saints' aggressive defensive front. The Rams tied the game at 20-20 late in the fourth quarter after Greg Zuerlein nailed a clutch 48-yard field goal. With under 2 minutes remaining, the Saints had possession deep in Rams territory, well within field goal range. A chance to put the game away was within their grasp. The Superdome crowd roared in anticipation as Brees and the Saints' offense lined up for what could have been a defining moment. It was at this point that one of the most controversial plays in NFL history would unfold, forever altering the course of the game, and potentially the league itself. The no call, a missed call for the ages. On a crucial 3rd-and-10 play from the Rams' 13-yard line, Brees dropped back and threw a pass toward wide receiver Tommy Lee Lewis. Just before the ball arrived, Rams cornerback nickel Robey-Coleman delivered a blatant helmet-to-helmet hit on Lewis, making contact before the ball had even reached him. By all definitions, it was a textbook case of defensive pass interference and illegal contact, one that should have resulted in a penalty, giving the Saints a new set of downs and an almost certain victory. Yet, no flag was thrown. Saints players, coaches, and fans erupted in disbelief. Payton frantically gestured to the officials, demanding an explanation, but none was given. The broadcast replayed the hit multiple times, each angle making it even clearer that the officials had made a monumental mistake. Commentators openly criticized the officiating, and social media exploded with reactions, many calling it one of the worst missed calls in sports history. The missed call forced the Saints to settle for a field goal, giving them a 23-20 lead but leaving enough time on the clock for the Rams to respond. Instead of running down the clock and ensuring they had the last possession, the Saints had to give the ball back to Los Angeles. Goff and the Rams capitalized, driving down the field and tying the game with a field goal, sending it to overtime. The momentum had completely shifted. The Saints would never regain control. Brees threw an interception on their first possession of overtime, giving the Rams another chance. The Rams methodically moved into field goal range, and Greg Zuerlein delivered the final blow with a game-winning 57-yard field goal, silencing the Superdome. Just like that, the Saints' Super Bowl hopes had been crushed, not by the opposing team's brilliance, but by an officiating blunder that would go down in infamy. The fallout, a league-wide uproar. The aftermath of the game was filled with outrage. Fans, analysts, and even former NFL players took to social media to express their disbelief. Even neutral observers agreed that the officiating blunder had cost the Saints a near-certain trip to Super Bowl 53. The play was dissected across all major sports networks, with commentators debating not only how the officials missed the call but also how the NFL could allow such an oversight in a game of this magnitude. Some analysts suggested that the league should consider full-time officials instead of relying on part-time referees to handle high-stakes playoff games. The controversy reached beyond sports, with Louisiana politicians calling for league investigations and lawsuits being filed against the NFL. Saints owner Gayle Benson issued a scathing statement demanding accountability, while Payton openly criticized the league's handling of the situation. New Orleans fans felt robbed, and petitions circulated demanding a replay of the game, though the NFL quickly dismissed the notion. Some Saints supporters even attempted legal action, suing the league over the blown call, though courts ultimately ruled in favor of the NFL, citing its authority to officiate games without legal intervention. The backlash was so intense that it forced the NFL to take action. In the off-season, the league implemented a new rule allowing pass interference calls, or non-calls, to be reviewed via instant replay. The decision was seen as a direct response to the no-call, and for the first time in NFL history, officials could overturn a missed or incorrect pass interference ruling based on video evidence. However, the new rule quickly became a source of frustration. Coaches frequently challenged plays that were not overturned, and officials hesitated to reverse calls unless the mistake was glaringly obvious. The confusion and inconsistency surrounding the rule led to widespread criticism, and after just one season, the NFL scrapped it, leaving the no-call as a haunting reminder of how one missed penalty can alter the course of history. Legacy of the no-call. The Saints-Rams no-call remains one of the most infamous moments in NFL history. It exposed flaws in officiating and highlighted the limitations of human error in high-stakes games. While the Rams went on to play in Super Bowl 53, where they lost to the New England Patriots, the lingering debate over whether they truly deserved to be there overshadowed their achievement. For Saints fans, the no-call represents the ultimate what-if moment, one that will forever haunt the franchise. Despite their success in the years that followed, they never got as close to the Super Bowl again during Brees' tenure. Ultimately, the no-call changed the NFL, sparking rule changes and renewed debates about officiating integrity. Though the league has moved on, the controversy will forever be remembered as a moment when the officials, not the players, determined the outcome of a championship game.